Hello and welcome to the TDM Talk Show. The 58th Grand Prix kicks off today, and here we have with us is one of Macau's most popular drivers, Andre Couto, here on the pit right in front of his pit box at the Grand Prix. He was the winner at year 2000 at the 47th Grand Prix, and this year he's once again participating in the career race. Hi Andre, thank you for joining us today. So I know you were born in Portugal, but you were raised in Macau. Tell me your first memory of the Grand Prix.
So I came to Macau when in '81. At the time I was 4 years old. My mother was born in Macau actually. My family from my mother are from Macau. And then immediately we started to watch the Grand Prix. I remember I was a little kid to watch Ayrton Senna when he won the Grand Prix, and watch all the other really famous drivers who obviously make it to Formula One. And this created a thing inside of me that I would like really to become one driver one day. And I used to go to the pits. It was very difficult to get the pit passes. At the time there was not these pits right like we are now. It was an old building where there is a car park, so all the cars, they used to be there. So it was more easy for a kid or for people who doesn't have a pass to get somehow in. And then I got to know some drivers. And obviously I grew up, and when I was a teenager I was already a go-kart driver. And the funny story was that I used to be a friend with Max Angelelli. He's an Italian driver, and I used to ask him to sign some autographs, give me stickers, give me something, you know, like a visor, anything. I was always around him, and because he was one of the drivers who always come to Macau, he did it like so many years. And then one day he came to Macau and I'm racing against him, and he's like, "Aren't you that kid?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me," you know. So we race each other in Formula 3, and this obviously was very nice memory.
But what was the moment when you decided, okay, I'm going to be a professional, car racer or driver?
So when I was like 12, I had a friend in Macau. He had a go-kart, and then I started to drive a go-kart for fun. I immediately enjoyed it, and then at that summer camp there was some activities organized by the Macau government. One of the activities was go-kart, and obviously I signed in. And then there was like 72 people, and they go to time trials, and they do a few races until the last 30 they can finally go to the final. And obviously I climb up until the final. And then I asked my father, "So listen, if I win the race, will you give me a go-kart?" And then he thought I would never win the race, so he said, yeah, sure, fine." And then I won the race. That's how it all started afterwards.
And so he got you a go-kart after that?
Yeah, he got me a go-kart, and then I started to race in Macau. And in 2 years I already was an international driver in go-kart. I win all the championships in Macau. Obviously in Macau the level was not very high, it's very amateur, and I was a little kid, with 13, 14 years old, so it's not very difficult to win in Macau. And then I had to face more challenge races. At that time there was end of November, 1 week after Macau Grand Prix, when I was 14 years old. That's when I turned the page to become more like a pro.
Yep.
There was a go-kart race, an international race with many champions, the world champions, European champions, everybody was there. A bit same like the Macau Grand Prix. Even at that time some Formula 3 drivers, they also were invited to drive a go-kart race a week later in Hong Kong, in the middle of the street in Victoria Park. It used to be a very famous race. And I joined the race, and I finished second, and the winner was the world champion at the time. And then I got a contract with a manufacturer from Italy to drive European championships and world championships. So they spoke with my father and everything, and then I really decided to go to Europe. So when I was like 15, I moved out from family and stayed with the team. until today. I'm still always traveling.
So after that, and then you coming back to Macau for the first time and joining the Grand Prix for the first time, how was that like? Because you grew up here and then you left home to go to Europe and then come back here to the Grand Prix. Describe the experience to me.
It was very weird because I was a schoolboy still, right? I was 18 years old and I had many friends from school in Macau, and we used to watch the Grand Prix, and then suddenly I'm driving the Grand Prix the year after. And the funny thing is, the year before I'm a driver, I was a go-kart driver, but to get the pit pass was so hard, right? I asked that guy, it's hard, and you can never go in, and I'm like, what the hell? And then suddenly the year after I'm racing, and I'm like, yeah, I have my pass now, you know. So this is funny things, and the weird part is that it felt all so fast. I have not really much time to digest that I'm actually racing in Formula 3. My first ever race was in Macau in Formula 3. I never raced Formula 3 before, so it was very strange, but at the same time it felt a dream come true. This was my dream since a kid. You always have two dreams. One goal is always to drive in Formula 1, and the other goal for me was to drive one day in Formula 3 in Macau. And it happened in '95, and that race was, like, I think probably the best memory I have from Macau. One of the reasons was because it was my first year, and the other reason, somehow I really did very well. I was a rookie. I found myself, I was with Schumacher, truly the Formula 1 drivers now. In the final race, I was leading the race, so I overtook Schumacher in the Lisboa corner, and I'm leading the race for one lap, and then there was a big accident further back in the grid, and then they canceled the race because the sunshine was already gone. And eventually I ended up finish sixth, which was the result of the first leg, which was already very good as a rookie. And this was I felt very great for me. And then I also felt, okay, I didn't win that day. I was leading the race, but I always knew I will have more chances. And eventually I won in 2000.
Yeah, so from 1995 to 2000, that's 5 Grand Prix until you won the top title. How did that feel when you win the Macau Grand Prix?
Well, you really cannot put it into words, I think. It's the best feeling you can get. Winning the Macau Grand Prix really is the best feeling. Especially for me, I'm a Macau boy. I always grew up here. I have many friends here. The crowd also supports me, and to win in Formula 3, I think is the best feeling you can get. Still, it took me a few weeks or a month to absorb all, take it all in,
So how did your friends feel when you won? Because they grew up with you, you guys sneaked into the pit together when you were a kid. What did they think?
I think they really felt the same what I'm feeling. They also felt somehow, especially my close friends who always been with me to the Go Kart races, and they follow my career, and then it's like we all won together.
So during that year when you won, did anything crazy happen? Any crazy stories to share?
Well, yeah, many things. We had a very good package with the team, we really were very determined to win. I was racing for Opel team BSR. They were they were a top team, and we really did prepare ourselves very well. The parts, all what we got before, I was testing. Funny story, I was testing in Europe, in Germany, before to come to Macau. And I'm in the team workshop, and they are putting the car in the container and the spare parts in the container. And the boss of the team just said, Andre, come here. You see all these spare parts? How many you want? You can just bring it all, Don't care, just push really hard. If you crash, we'll build a new car for you next day. So this really gives you a lot of confidence that the team is behind you. You have no fear whatsoever. you know, and you feel that you really need to push. Because in Macau, to win the Grand Prix, you really have to take your own limit, have to go one step further. You really have to take some risks.
Why is that?
Well, because it's a street circuit, and it's not very easy to, you know, to find the last gap, like to find the last half a second, a few tenths to be able to put you in a position to win. It's very hard. You have to commit yourself 100%. You know, be very focused, very determined. Go closer to the walls to get the last tenth of a second, and obviously sometimes you hit the wall. Sometimes in qualifying you just snitch the wall like 2 or 3 times in a lap, and obviously nothing happened on the car, and you can really put a very good lap time. So it's a very challenging track. That's the reason why Macau is Macau. It is is a top track in the world, probably the best track in the world.
So you've said it many times yourself that the Guia track is one of your favorites and one of the most challenging in the world.
Yeah.
So, but in recent years you've been having trouble finishing the track.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations this year? Are you optimistic? Are you confident to finish?
Yeah,
the race?
I'm always confident myself. I know that I have experience in Macau. Many things can happen. The years that went well for me went bad for others, right? Some other drivers that were very good, they also had some crash, or some other guy crash in front of him and he has no way to escape, and obviously you will find yourself involved in a crash. That's what happened to me last year. There was a crash on the back of me in the start, and they took me off. So these things you cannot control, but you can do a good weekend, try to prepare yourself, build up your confidence, free practice, then qualifying and the race. There's a few stages before actually you finish the race, and I just want to put myself in a position where I can you know, take 100% of everything, and if then you can do it, fine. If not, well, there's always a next year. This is not the only race I do, right? We do many races a year, so we are very experienced. I take this race as I take any other race, but it has some extra. It's Macau, it's a bit special, and for me it's even more special since I'm a Macau driver. But the expectations are always high for me. I put the pressure on, not because I have friends or I have people watching me. I try not to be a bad pressure. Actually, it's a good pressure because I feel the people are with me. So this is a good pressure. But the pressure, that you feel before the race, and you really have to be focused, it's the pressure which I put on myself because I really want to do well. So I have to take this very serious, and that's how we all do it. I think all the drivers do the same. All drivers, they feel something special in Macau, and we all try 100%.
But driving down the Guia tracks, which is roads you grew up walking on, how does that feel for a driver?
Well, it feels great actually. Macau is over almost 7 kilometers in the mountain and the downhill. It's very, very fast, and I know many. The good thing also in Macau, when you drive around the track, and then when they finish the session, I can actually pinpoint some marshals, and I know them. The marshals working, and you just wave to them, they wave to you. It's kind of funny. You feel some connection.
But you've been in the Grand Prix since 1995, so that's 16 years now. 95.
No, I skip 2 Grand Prix. I was in the same race doing in Japan, so I could not come.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But you still get the thrill.
Of course.
In the Grand Prix, you've done it so many times.
Yeah.
Do you still get excited?
Yes, sure. I think everybody does. It's Macau. If I would be able to put you on the side of the car, you will understand what I'm talking about. it's very, the adrenaline is very, you know, you have this buzz which only Macau can give you.
Ah, okay. So I know that you also spend a good amount of time in a year in Japan because you do the Super GT race in Japan. Why Japan out of all the countries in the world?
Well, it's a very competitive series. I drove when I won Macau, the Grand Prix. Obviously, the Japanese are very keen to watch the Macau, and I got the doors open in the Japanese motorsport world, and I moved to Japan, and I'm a Toyota driver, and I stayed in Toyota for many years, and I'm really very happy to be there. It's a very competitive series. I think probably is the best series I've been in terms of the organization and everything. There's like just last week there's 70,000 people watching a race. I think the numbers are very high. It's the fans are very loyal. It's the best fans are the Japanese fans, no doubt about that. They are so involved in the sport, and they are always very giving you some presents, and they are so supportive of you, of every driver actually. So it's really the best place to be.
But how is it different from Macau, you would think? And how does it feel being a foreign driver in Japan? I mean, in Macau, you grew up here, so you feel home. But in Japan, you're a different country, a different place, and people might not know you as people know you here. How does that feel?
Well, actually, the people there, they do know me, yes. Actually, I have a lot of fans in Japan.
Okay.
Probably, I don't say I have, maybe more than here, actually. You know, in Japan, it's very difficult to even to move from the pits to go to the toilet. When you do to do this, you are blocked with fans all over the place. You have to sign, you know. So yeah, even in the breakfast when you are in a hotel, like you wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and you go to the breakfast, there's always some fans there with a bag, and they will take a miniature car of you, or a photo that they took with you a few months ago, and they want you to sign, and they are in the breakfast in your hotel, which could be like half an hour away from the track, because they are afraid not to catch you when they are on the track. So this really means something, and I think this is Japan. Japan is very unique in this, and the fans are very loyal.
So yesterday, I know that you brought a bunch of kids to your pit right here yesterday, and I was here as well, to see, you know, the Grand Prix pit and to see your car. How was that?
Yeah, I think it's great. This is something that in Japan they are already doing a lot. It's not new to me. In Japan, we go also to the hospitals. The championship organizers, they bring one Toyota driver, one Honda driver, one Nissan driver. We all go together, and we arrive in the hospital. We do like a small party, and we give presents. We stay with them. We talk. So they do some talk shows, and it's a different day for them. And also with the tsunami afterwards, the championship also in every city we go. There's always they bring the people which were affected. They can come there free of charge, and especially the kids. And there is a big aim for the kids, and this is something I would like to do in Macau, because I think it's important. Especially the kids of yesterday, they were from an orphanage. They are not like us. They face the life is a bit more difficult for them, and why not give to them? It's very easy for me to bring them here. It doesn't cost anything. We can give them the presents, put a smile on their faces, and try to give them a day which they not forget. And who knows, one of them will have some feeling of racing, and maybe one day can be a sportsman or a race car driver. And I think this is to encourage a message to them that they can dream and become whatever they want to become.
But do you think because you grew up in Macau, watching the Grand Prix as a kid, that's what encouraged you to be a racer? And do you think you want to do the same for those kids, like to expose them to this at a very early age?
For sure, in my case, it was because of the Macau Grand Prix, definitely. And I think what I think is missing in Macau Grand Prix is the involvement of kids. There's not the kids. In the pit pass you can see only allowed for over 18 years old. I think this is a bit strange, since in Japan the races are bigger than this, and we have kids all over the place. It's not dangerous, it's just you need to control and you need to make special places for them. I think the kids are the next generation, so they need to come to see the race, of course. And the kids bring the fathers, and they will ask to come and to buy this T-shirt, buy that, you know, get more involved. I think, and they will become the next generation. So, you know, why many of the people are here to watch the Grand Prix? But probably when they were kids, they came and they liked, and then they will bring their kids. That's how it works, right? In any other sport, in soccer is the same. You go to a stadium, you see the fathers and their family. I think this could be also should be the same. The families should be able to bring their kids and to come to enjoy a different weekend. And I think this is what is missing in Macau, which in other countries they do.
So this comes to the last question of today's show. I know you've been you started racing when you were 15 at Go Karting, and for more than half of your life you've been racing. So I want to know, what's the next step in your career? What is your next goal?
Well, of course my goal is always to race at the highest level. Now I think in GTs or touring cars. This is my goal. And try to always come to Macau Grand Prix and try to challenge to win the race and become a Formula 3 winner, which I am, and then also a World Touring Car winner.
So it's never been a problem for you? You're always excited about things. You never get a feeling of, you know, it's like, oh, I've done this for so many years already, or I'm a little bored of this. Like, do you ever get that feeling?
No, I'm not bored at all. Actually, I'm always thinking, if I can, you know, find all the package, all the sponsors and everything to continue at the highest level. This is my biggest fear, which is I cannot continue, because my wish is to continue, of course. So, as any other driver, I still feel I'm in the early 30s. Is where you feel you know you build up more experience, more determined. Many Formula 1 drivers are my age. And many of them, they race against me, and I think I still have a lot to deliver.
Thank you for joining us today, Andre, and thank you for watching the TDM Talk Show. You can read a review of today's show on Friday's edition of Macau Daily Times. We'll be back next week with another